Hekar, what are some of the characteristics you look for in violins of this value?
What I would like on a violin of this value, the main feature should be that it should make it easy to express myself on it, which means that it has to have a faithful reproduction of all the playing nuances, and it has to have a true response to my touch, and that goes for any violinist. I think that should be the main thing that you look for. Also, the way it looks and the way it feels. The way it looks, because after all, this is a minor piece of art, and it should be appealing to the eye. But that's my preference. Maybe some other players don't have so much, don't put so much importance on how it looks, but I do, and that's just my personal preference. And also the way it feels, because that has to do with performance, and it has to do on whether you feel comfortable playing it. That's also very important, and it's a personal preference as well. Some necks of a violin might be too thick or too thin, but again, that depends on the shape of your hand, the length of your fingers. That is something that you have to decide by playing it, and it varies from player to player, of course.
How would you compare the sound of this Montagniana violin you just played to other violins?
This Montagnana violin, I think, is very sweet in its sound and very complex. It does have a very good dynamic range, and the tone overall is very deep. Now, let me elaborate on what I mean by complexity. Um, it means that as I am drawing the bow over the string, it doesn't just produce a plain sound. As I am varying the speed and the weight of the bow, the tone changes. And the more the tone changes, the more complex it is. Because some violins do not have this ability. Uh, may they sound very good, but they don't have um, the tone coloring, as we call it, that this violin has. I think that this violin would do very well with classical, because it allows for a lot of tonal shading, and the sound overall is very pleasant to the ear. It, as we say, it speaks very easy, which means that um, it responds very quickly to the bow, but it is not, the tone is not incisive. It is very smooth. And if I could compare it to other sensations, I would say it's very much like the touching silk. That's the effect that it has on my ear, at least when I play it. Um, and it is not um, a brisk at all. This is not a very explosive tone, and it's a violin that you want to sing with. Definitely not shrill at all. It's very luscious, very refined, and like an aged wine.